Hey guys, welcome back. This new game I've been looking at is on sale on Steam. Called probably say Theo. Let's see the options. See anything. So it's supposed to be a detective type game. Silk Road mode. The Silk Rose murders. Let's go. This is a work of fiction while based on real historical subjects. All characters and events are depicted in a fictitious manner. Ah. Oh, the art is so cool here. Oh, the messenger said I would find an officer standing guard. And this must be the right place. Space to enter. Click? Yeah, it's click. Oh. Oh, it might. Oh. Oh, okay, it's point and click adventure. That's really cool. Okay. First time playing one of these. He must be the officer that messaged me. Okay. Yeah, pretty sure he's a messenger. Speaking of, my name is D. Renji. Oh, look, the little hat is moving. Oh, that's cute. I am the newly appointed investigating magistrate in Penglai. Penglai. A messenger was sent to fetch me only 30 minutes ago. He named Foreign Minister Wang Hua as his employer. I understand I'm meant to help with a urgent matter. You're the new investigator. That's great. Excuse my bluntness, but I wasn't expecting someone so young. You have a keen eye. I've just recently completed my studies in capital, and this is my first appointment as a county magistrate. But in my time in the capital, I gained invaluable experience serving as secretary of the Imperial Archives and as assistant to the Imperial Counselor before that. But I believe the minister requested my presence urgently. We must not keep him waiting. Of course, I apologize for my indiscretion. But on a night like this, one can't be too careful. I am Sergeant Fang Changlong. Of course, Fang Changlong. Minister ranks private guard. Please, may I see some proof of your title? What? Oh, that's him again. He wants the officer. Okay, yeah. Oh, alright. Alright, so it is kind of... I hereby bestow you, D. Renji, the rights and responsibilities, as prescribed by Imperial law, of investigating magistrate of the District of Penglai. My official mandate, as decreed by the Imperial Court, is authenticated by a Royal Dragon Seal. Oh, how neat. Okay, cool. I just give you this? Alright. Hey! I did a thing. Thank you, Magistrate D. The minister is ready for you. And I just got tired. Wow. Okay. Well, I don't think I'm gonna be doing voices like that anymore. What's this? Weeping Willow. Okay, interact. Weeping Willows are believed to help ward off evil spirits. These mythic creatures are meant to protect the house. I have a feeling they may have faltered tonight. That's nice. I like that. He's myth. Oh yeah, yeah. Anything else? Anything else? Okay. Let's walk inside. What up? I'm out. I'm here now. Well, this must be the compound's main water supply. Mm-hmm. That must be the foreign minister Wong. I heard he was appointed by the Emperor himself. He's a powerful man. Why would he seek my assistance at this hour? No doubt a matter of life and death. I fear the worst. You must be Mr. Wong. Or you must be Di Renji, the new magistrate of our little coastal district. I wish we could have met under less dire circumstances. I understood you've only been at your new post for 2 weeks. The minister is well informed. I have only begun to settle into my new station. The area is still quite new to me. In truth, I've only visited the military's fort so far, this compound, and the other hand, I did not know existed. Indeed, this estate was built just recently to serve only the most exclusive guests of the Empire. Its existence is strictly on a need-to-know basis. Okay. Oh, there's little dialogue choices. Why do I need to know? So it appears you've put me in a privileged position. But why? With that, you are correct, young magistrate. But one word of advice. That position you speak of is fraught with danger. Knowledge, after all, comes at a price. Well, you seem keen enough. Good. I shall start from the beginning. As you know, the district borders a coastal region that is under constant threat by the Korean Navy. I was sent here and tasked to conduct secret negotiations with my Korean counterpart, Ambassador Choi. The Emperor himself summoned me to help deliver his proposed border treaty, a move that would undoubtedly help him gain favor in the eyes of the court and the kingdom. Needless to say, there are factions that would love nothing more than to see the Emperor fail. Who threatens the Emperor? The kingdom is prosperous. Who would dare defy the Emperor? The Imperial court is full of usurpers, I don't know, waiting for their chance to strike. That is why this treaty is more than a simple diplomatic calculation. Its symbolic value is immeasurable. The Emperor must show his strength, now more than ever, or I'm afraid his legacy will end badly. Is he in jeopardy? Are you suggesting that the Emperor's enemies are on the move? Of that, there is no doubt. If 30 years in the Imperial Court has taught me anything, it is that no Emperor can truly rest. Night after night he lies awake, anticipating the next shadow. His enemies are too numerous, too persistent. The Emperor is a revered man. My father served under our Majesty. He is capable and beloved ruler. Your father served a young and vibrant man. Today, the Emperor is an old and feeble leader, a mere shadow of his former self. As his health wanes, his wife Wu Zetian grows with influence. As his favor falls, consort Wu gains power behind the curtains. Yeah, what is your role? And what of you, Mr. Wong? Where do you stand? Barely 5 months ago, I was still enjoying the life of a retired official, but who refuses the Emperor? Clearly, he needed an outsider like me for the job, a loyalist, unlikely to be influenced by his detractors. Yet tonight, I stand at the precipice. God. Looking clumsily at the bottom of the ravine. Perhaps you could save me? Now come with me. God, this is words I can never. I can't. Not the words. Moments later, on the far side of the compound. Oh shit. The unfortunate man you see before you is Choi Young-jun, Korean ambassador to China. Tonight was meant to be triumphant victory, but fate has a cruel way of shuffling the deck. Just as you begin to believe in your own destiny. Tell me what happened. Ambassador Choi and I had been meeting here secretly for weeks. Our work on the treaty was almost complete, and we arranged to meet this evening to finalize it. It started innocently enough. Choi and his private guard arrived in time for supper as well, as usual. After a light meal, our business began in earnest over some jasmine tea, just as it had many times before. But what follows is a terrible blur. I remember suddenly becoming very dizzy. Moments later, I felt myself resting my head on the table before me, closing my eyes and unable to open them again. When I awake, I felt like I had slept for hours, so I must have witnessed this. That was my hope, but when I interrogated the others, all had the same answer: unconscious, each and every one of them. And Choi? He was gone. No one knew what happened to him, so I ordered an immediate search of the entire estate. We looked everywhere. In the end, it was his private guard who found him here, murdered in cold blood. Apparently, the ambassador had previously commented on how peaceful this waterfall made him feel. Huh. Ironic. It is hard to deny the serenity of this place. May you rest in peace. Let me remind you that if we do not find a suitable explanation for the ambassador's death, tonight's events could create a rift between our two nations that no diplomatic means could mend. That is why you must solve this case tonight, or the consequences will be grave for all of us. Yes, of course. I shall start my investigation. Has anyone been allowed to leave the premise? No, I've ordered everyone to stay until this matter is resolved. I myself walked to the nearby military outpost to request a messenger be sent for you. Otherwise, none have been permitted to step outside of this gated compound. Very well. I shall interview each person and search the area for clues. I want to see that. First case. Alright, let's look at this. What is this? Look like a partially used candle. I'm gonna take that. I take things. I like taking things. His body is partially underwater. If any forensics evidence existed, it's likely been washed away. Cap. It looks like a hat, of course. Pick it up. Alright. Bloody cap belonging to the ambassador. Okay. Alright. Well, oh. Oh. You can click where you want to go. Okay. So let's talk to these people. Let's go. Oh. Wait. Okay, I'll just talk to Mr. Wang then. Yes, how can I help? Well, you already explained why you asked for me. Who was on the premise? Can you tell me more about this compound and the people present tonight? This compound is comprised of small houses and private garden, which itself surrounds this waterfall. When in use, it is altered to by a staff of 3, a house steward, a cook, and a maidservant. The ambassador and I each have a private bodyguard who remain by our sides at all times. Where are they now? You've met my guard at the front gate. Ambassador Toy's guard is standing outside his very cave. The house steward is trying to keep himself busy in the main courtyard, and you'll find the cook and the maidservant in the house. Okay. How did you fall unconscious? Any idea how you were rendered unconscious? Some sort of sleeping-inducing drug, I imagine. At first I thought our food might have been tampered with, but since dinner was served to only the ambassador and I, this would hardly explain why the others succumbed as well. After waking, I examined the candles that were lit earlier in the evening, and judging by their condition, it seems we passed out just half an hour. Yet the remarkable thing is, if all accounts are true, everyone in the house passed out at the same time. When I worked as secretary of the Imperial Archives, I once read of a case in which a powerful sleeping gas was introduced into a closed room. All within it was knocked out minutes later. If what you say is true, it's highly possible a similar method was used here. As a matter of fact, at the time of the dinner, all doors and windows were indeed closed. Do you know anything strange? What happened before you passed out? Did you notice anything out of the ordinary? I've replayed the events leading up to his disappearance over and over, but alas, nothing especially comes to mind. Were you the first one to regain consciousness? No, the house steward and Troy's guard were already awake. Oh. They claim to have come to only moments later. The others woke shortly after I did. Who knew about these meetings? Secret meetings. For obvious reasons, the people presently here all have some degree of knowledge about the meetings themselves. But the Emperor himself is the only one who knows the nature of the work the ambassador and I were engaged in. The treaty was only to be made public after we had finalized it. Evidently, we were not cautious enough. What is so important about this treaty? Our work here would have ensured a facade of prosperity between our two nations. Who do you think that benefits the most? The Koreans? No. They have no stomach for war against our empire in the first place. Make no mistake, our emperor is the one who gained the most from this agreement, allowing him to recapture the hearts and minds of the people in the twilight of his reign. But he will be the one paying most dearly for his failure, like vultures circling a weak prey. His enemies will advance, mark my words. You have much to learn, young magistrate. We live in uncertain times. Each move we make now either secures the empire or precipitates its demise. Any suspects? Do you know any reasons to suspect anyone here? I wish I could say I do, but to my knowledge, no one here had any motive to kill him. Why do you ask me? As the investigation magistrate of this district, you are responsible for all matters of law and order that arise within its borders. As such, you are judge, jury, prosecutor, and detective. Wow. Notwithstanding the secret nature of these meetings, you alone have the jurisdiction to investigate and solve this case. And by the heavens, I hope you do. I'll investigate further. Good luck. I would be in the sitting room if you need me. Let's walk out of the waterfall. No, I shouldn't leave until I examine the crime scene and inspected all the evidence. That's what I did! Wait. won't be able to rely on an autopsy, so I need to examine him carefully. Oh, okay. Oh, something in his head. The back of his head has been smashed in by a narrow, jagged object, likely killing him on impact. His torso? Something is tucked under his undershirt. A silk handkerchief, the ambassador's seal. Alright. At the inventory. No defensive room or any signs of a struggle. Could he have known his attacker? Some footprints are still visible at the edge of the water. Curiously, it seems he was facing away from his attacker when the assault happened. The blow to his head was fatal, but why was he facing away from his killer? We need to find the murder weapon. Unless he was threatened or carried here. It seems the ambassador came on his own volition. But why? Perhaps he knew his killer. He knew the killer. I'll check these again. Yeah. Okay. I can see how that would help. Alright. Am I still missing something? I need us. I'm being too impatient. I need to play this out. Okay, not a good idea. Alright. Second thought, that probably won't work. It's funny. You can see how that would help. No, I don't think that's a good idea. A handkerchief made of expensive silk. The ambassador's seal is embroidered into the bottom right corner. That probably won't work. Did I leave now or something I'm missing? I feel like I collect all the evidence here. Okay, yeah. Me inspecting crime scene evidence more closely before I leave. Excuse me. Fitted Imperial cap worn by high-ranking Korean officials. There appears to be a small budge on the inside. A secret pocket is sewn into the lining. There's a small piece of folded paper inside. How long will the charade go on? You will not get rid of me so easily. I will have my answer tonight. Oh! Collect evidence to fill out this deduction board. Huh. Found a letter in Troy's cab and learned of a potential threat. Interesting. Alright, so I think I'm finished with this crime scene. Let's walk out. Let's talk to you. Yeah, let's talk to you. The death of his master will undoubtedly carry severe consequences upon his return to Korea. Oh, really? My name is D. Renji. I am in charge of this investigation. Are you Ambassador Choi's military guard? Yes, sir. I am Captain Bei of the Korean Royal Guard. But there is no need for any further formalities. I do not wish to speak to any Chinese officials until an investigation team from my country is present. What do you mean? Why should I trust a Chinese detective when it is under Chinese care that the ambassador has been assassinated? Do you think me that naive? I can help. I can help you find answers, but you have to trust me. Trust you? How do I know this wasn't a plot encoded by your own government? How do I know you are not part of that? I understand your reservations, but if we do not act tonight, the trail may be lost, and we may lose our only chance to apprehend the killer. How can we just do nothing and wait? I'll make a bargain with you. Show me that you are truly here to find the truth. Show me your skills as an investigator, and I will cooperate and answer your questions. Very well, you have a deal. I will return when I have uncovered more about the case, which I expect your cooperation. Something seems to be stuck inside the tree trunk. The object that lodged in there is just beyond my grasp. I'll need something to extend my reach. Okay. I can feel its mist brushing against my skin, yet there is a gentle stillness to these falls that's hard to describe. Can I talk to you? No, I should investigate more before I speak to him again. Up here, do I have anything that could... I don't think a used candle would work. I mean, hold on, I can try. I can try. Yep, that probably won't work, yeah. There's a rag here. Here's a cloth has been dropped on the guard. It's a rag coated with some kind of herbal oil. I can't quite identify the herb, but it has a minty aroma. From the looks of it, this lovely cherry blossom was in full bloom just days ago. Let's look at him. His blank expression suggests a man looking for a distraction, but sweeping the floor doesn't seem to be helping. Are you the steward of this estate? Yes, sir. And you must be D. Renji, the detective minister Ryan spoke of. I'm Song Yu Mink. I manage the small staff that cares for this compound and its guests. It's a relief to see you here, sir. Perhaps now we can find out what really happened here tonight. That is my hope as well. That is my hope also. Can you tell me how the night unfolded? Gently, sir. Not in 100 years could I have imagined such terror. We thought this place was safe, untouchable even, but those notions were quickly smashed to bits tonight. Go on. Well, I was in the kitchen when it happened. I was overseeing the plotting? Oh, plating of some desserts with Chef Chu when, for no apparent reason, he just stumbled on the ground like a large stack of rice. Bent down to assist him, but suddenly my vision became blurry and my legs felt weak. My weight pulled me to the floor, and that was that. I was out cold. Later, when When I came to and saw that Chu was still on the ground, I checked to see if he was still alive, which he was. I knew then that I had to run to the sitting room, where I suspected the others had suffered a similar fate, worse. There they were, all unconscious except the ambassador's bodyguard. As I looked at him, standing over his master's seat, it was at that moment that I realized the ambassador was missing. Did you wake the others? No. I didn't want to risk it. Who knows what kind of poison we had been subject to. But there was no need. Only moments later, they all started waking up one by one. Once Minister Wang became fully aware of the situation, he immediately ordered us to search for a premise for Ambassador Choi. I was as shocked as everyone when his own guard found him dead in the garden grotto. What manner of sorcery could have lured him into that cave? That is indeed a vital question, but for now, tell me about yourself and your staff. Well, the staff here is small, but we manage. Chief Shu and I have been working here since the beginning. Sun Yang, the maidservant, came on board last spring. We had to replace the first maidservant because her mother was sick and she wanted to return home to care for her. The rules and routines here are very strict, with all the secrecy and all, so there's little room for error or improvisation, and tonight was no exception. How did you prepare for tonight? Did everything go according to plan? Yes, sir. Our preparations were meticulous as always. We first greeted Minister Wang, followed by the ambassador shortly after sundown. I set the tables and lit the evening candles, and we promptly began serving supper, and then the tea. Then, when I headed back into the kitchen to help prepare the dessert, well, you know what happened next. Wait. Did anyone else eat besides the minister and the ambassador? No, sir. The staff isn't allowed to eat until long after the guests have left. They've been instructed to eat before they arrive here, so it's usually not a concern. Same goes for the bodyguards. And am I right to assume that all the food is prepared on site? That's right, sir. Everything is prepared here by Chef Shu. We don't allow any food from the outside. Actually, yeah, the candles. And you say you lit the candles in the house at the start of the evening. What kind of candles did you use? For that, you have to ask Sun Yang, the maidservant. She managed our candle supply. And did anyone change or handle the candles after you initially lit them this evening? No, sir. Our candles usually last well into the night. Even now, they still burn in the house. Yeah, why are you sweeping? Why are you sweeping? Under the circumstances, the minister has surely given you leave of your regular duties. Yes, sir. This was just for me, or rather for my nerves. Keeping busy helps me stay relaxed. Besides, after all these years doing this job, I'm not used to sitting and waiting, and old habits die hard, I guess. Thank you. I'll leave you to your work. It's no trouble, sir. What's this? Oh, okay. Alright. There's a stone bench here. Stone bench perfectly placed, but for taking in the sun on warm summer days. Oh. they were sitting on. I don't have the means to analyze the contents of this meal that was served. For now, I need to rely purely on instinct and deduction. Okay, yeah. Maid servant. Oh, hey, lady. Let's look at you. Her hands are trembling. Like the others, the night seems to have taken a toll. Nonetheless, her rare beauty is quite striking. I'll talk to you. I'm Magistrate Duranger. I'd like to ask you some questions. Yes, sir, of course. My name is Sun Ying. I am the maid servant. I'd like to hear your account of what happened tonight. Can you take me back to the beginning? Well, it happened so fast. I remember the minister and the ambassador arriving one after the other just after nightfall. I remember them settling into the sitting room. The minister sat here against the wall, and the ambassador was over there. Wait, what? I remember them settling into the sitting room. The minister sat here against the wall, and the ambassador was over there to his left. We began the dinner service soon after that. Later, I remember Mr. Song saying he was going into the kitchen to check on desserts, and that's when things took a terrible turn. One moment I was serving tea, and the next I was lying on the floor, confused and disoriented. When I realized we had been drugged and that the ambassador had been killed, I was so afraid. I didn't know what to think. All I know is that he didn't deserve to die that way. But our destinies are often beyond your own control. We bend and break at the mercy of the higher power. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to ramble on. No need to apologize. What's taking place here tonight would unnerve the best of us. Thank you for your kind words. Help you find the person who did this and bring them to justice. Yeah, tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself. I'm just a simple servant girl. Have been since when I was little. My parents died when I was very young, so I had to learn to fend for myself. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you treated well here? That I am, sir. Very well. Mr. Wang is a good man. And Mr. Song, he's very demanding, but I've never known him to be unreasonable. But now that this has happened, I wonder if they'll continue to let us work here. How did you end up working here? I applied to an agency. They put my name on a waiting list and told me they'd contact me if anything come up. I heard this girl who worked here before me had to leave because she had to take care of her sick mother. I guess I was just next in line. After that, I was happy to pay them their finder's fee for the candles. Who supplies the candles that I use throughout the house? I buy a new batch every week from a local candle maker. I don't remember his name, sir, but everybody in town buys their candles from his shop. Did you notice anything different about the latest batch? No, sir. They look and smell the same to me. These just plain unscented candles. I like to examine any leftovers you may have. Where do you keep them? Yes, of course. They store it in a small lockbox in the storage room. Here's the key. Alright. Thank you, Miss Sun. Hope I was some help. Alright. Something I want to check. Nope, they still have all their candles. They look like ordinary candles. Yeah. So let's go ahead and check. Antique face. An antique face, judging from its style and shape, this piece may date as far back as Zhao dynasty. Huh. Let's go to the kitchen real quick. Okay. dried vegetables. I use ginger garlic, the usual assortment of dried vegetables. A board detailing the week's menu. The only noteworthy thing is how well organized the staff is. Pair tongs used to handle charcoal that feeds the stove. Oh, I need that actually. I'll take that. This might come in handy. Yes, that will come exactly handy. I want to go and get that thing real quick. Remember that tree? Oh, damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Oh, look, a painted vase. Oh, let's look at this real quick. No, look at it. Look at the vase. A fine painted vase featuring a dancing dragon. Interesting. I don't think I checked this. Perfect for late night game of chess. A bronze candlestick must have been dropped into the water and carried by the current of the tree trunk. There are small traces of blood, and the shape matches that of the wound on the ambassador's head. This must be the murder weapon. Nice. Candlestick. You know, now that I think about it, Song Ying never asked where she's from. I'm assuming Stuart Song is from here, but oh, wait. Oh, I can double click to run faster, I guess. Okay, let's look at the desserts. There's nothing out of the ordinary. Brick stove. Brick stove cold, the side is warm. You seem oddly relaxed. You the chef? Yes, sir. Shu Fu is the name. You must be the detective. Yes, I am Daiji Renji. I am the newly appointed the new investigating magistrate of Nglai. I've heard of you. Is that so? Yes, my cousin Singh is the cook at the military fort. He told me about your recent visit there. He even told me he prepared his specialty pork dumplings. But between you and me, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if you had better. That cousin of mine, he's always been a bragger. He seems strangely undisturbed by tonight's events, Chef Chu. Tell me, have you been drinking wine? Well, I suppose I did have a sip of wine here and there. It's just such a long and stressful night. I was just trying to calm my nerves a little. I see. And do you think you're fit enough to answer a few questions? Fit enough? Ha! I'd wager I'm the sharpest in 1 year, sir. You needn't worry 1 second. Fire away. Very well. What are you doing before you fell unconscious? Let's see. I was standing over there plating those custard tarts. Mr. Song was standing right beside me. I swear that man wouldn't know the difference between a tart and a pie if his life depended on it. Don't get me wrong, he's a hard-working man and everything, but he doesn't know heads from tails in the kitchen. Well, anyway, it was around then that I started feeling dizzy, like I was in a drunken haze, but without the drinking. I think I must have blocked out after that. The last thing I remember is a distinct metallic smell in the air. Regrettably, I passed out before I could identify it. You think you could have identified it? Didn't I tell you? At the risk of sound boastful, I am blessed with a nose. Or should I say precise instrument, capable of recognizing an ingredient only by its scent. Culinary school, they used to call me the Hound. One whiff of someone's breath, and I could tell them the contents of their last meal. Would you like to give it a try? Sure, why not? Let's go. I don't see why not. Huff. Ha. That's my sniff. It smells like you had some steamed chicken. Prepared with ginger and chives, am I right? That's correct. That's quite a talent you have there, Chef Shu. Haha. I knew a man like you could appreciate such refined senses. If you'd like me to demonstrate it again, feel free to bring me anything with the slightest hint of an aroma, and I'll identify the source. That sounds quite useful. I'll keep that in mind. What can you tell me about tonight's dinner service? The minister prefers his meals light and simple, and tonight's menu was no different. I first prepared a sweet duck soup, followed by some fried fish cakes and white rice. The custard tarts were next, but as it turns out, we never got around to serving those. Do you prepare all the food yourself? Of course. Unlike my cousin who relies on his assistant, I don't let anyone else touch my food. Tell me about yourself. You want to know about me? I see where this is going. I suppose we're all suspects here, aren't we? No need to be tactful around me, sir. I know how this works. You pretend your questions are harmless or routine. We're all along setting a trap for this unsuspecting wrongdoer. Isn't that right? Nothing routine about a murder. There's nothing routine about an investigation into the murder of a high-ranking diplomat. Now, Chef Shu, either you start taking this seriously, or I detain you in the fine jailhouse for wrongdoers until you start sobering up. Well, I'm terribly sorry, sir. I was just suggesting. I didn't mean to offend. It must be the wine. I'm not usually the talkative. Set my feet up. Getting sleepy. Okay. So, as I was saying, I come from a long line of chefs. 4 generations, if you can believe it. I've been a chef for 16 years, and that's exactly 2 more than my older cousin's son. In recent years, I have settled for working for the imperial court, going whenever they ask. The pay is a little better, and I don't mind the traveling. A bachelor life has its perks, you know. Do you have any theories? Do you have any theories about the murder? It's those damn revolutionaries. They're plotting to overthrow the empire. Just know it. Have eyes and ears everywhere. My cousin's saying he thinks I'm crazy. Doesn't think the throne is vulnerable. But that's exactly the kind of thinking that will get you in trouble. You wouldn't happen to have any proof of these conspiracy theories, would you? Proof? Well, not exactly. You see, it's more a gut feeling than anything else. All these years cooking for scholars, aristocrats, and officers, and one pick up on these things. I see. Well, unless your gut can muster up some actual evidence relating to the situation at hand, I'd rather we leave those grand theories for another day. Ah, yes, of course. You seem quite fond of your cousin Sang. Fond of him? You must be joking. He's been a nuisance all my life. He's more like a rival, a nemesis. Who am I kidding? She's the only family I got. A true friend. Wait, you're not going to tell him I said that, are you? You can't. You mustn't. Or I won't hear the end of it. No need to worry. I won't tell a soul. That's all for now. Thank you. Alright, so he just is a really good cook. Right. So I talked to Sun Yang. I do want to go like downstairs or something. Okay. Supplies with the house. My grandfather had a chest like this. I say it's easily 200 years old. Okay. Uh-huh. These 3 slots look like keyholes. Okay. Alright. Let's go back out. Let's look at the storage box. Or the stock box. All I need a key is open it. Okay. Whoa. What's this? The scan of correlation is different from the others. Its midsection appears to be darker. The rest of the candles are unscented, but this one has an unusual odor. Unfortunately, I can't make out what it is. Let's grab that. I swear, if I see like a person, like right here, I'm gonna freak. These doors lead to the balcony, but it looks like they've been sealed shut. I see a ninja, I'm done. I see a ninja, I'm done. Let's go with the person with the nice smell to them. Yeah, can I talk to you, dude? I'm gonna talk to you. Cute. Damn it. Okay. Well, first of all, I'm gonna have to actually, like, sniff this. Can you sniff this? Okay. How about sniffing this? Do you recognize the scent of the discolored part of this candle? Yes, that's the same faint metallic scent that I detected in the air just prior to falling unconscious. It's hard to pinpoint since this substance is meant to be burned, but I wager a full purse that we're dealing with some form of opium. Opium? Could it be used in induced sleep? I suppose in the hands of a skilled chemist or herbalist. It could be harnessed in such a way. Thank you for your assistance, Chef Shao. Regret that the candle were tampered with to induce sleep temporarily. Let's see here. Can I? Okay, main water supply. Actually, I need to talk to you. What can I do for you, detective? Tell me about yourself. Before I was reassigned to protect Minister Wang, I was a guard at the Imperial Palace. Funny, I didn't even know I was being considered for this mission when my superior told me I had been picked for the job. I can't complain though. I'd much rather be out here in the countryside than roaming the halls of that stuffy palace. Excuse my bluntness again, sir. Thoughts on the murder? What's your thoughts on the ambassador murder? Truthfully, sir, I think the rest of us are lucky to be alive. I know I'll be thanking the gods in my prayers tonight. If I may be so bold, sir, something tells me Ambassador Choi was up to no good. Why else would someone go through all that trouble just to get to him? And whoever it was, they sure knew what they were doing. What can you tell me about Minister Wang? Minister Wang is an immensely disciplined man. His attention to his work is remarkable. Although I don't know about the details, I know that whatever treaty he and Ambassador Choi were working on was of great importance, and he poured himself into it. I just hope that after what happened tonight, some part of the work can still be saved. Have there been any other incidents since your time here in Banglai? That's just it, sir. I haven't no disturbance until today. Everything had been going so well, all that was left was for the two sides to sign the agreement, and the mission would have been complete. What are the security arrangements for this compound and this guest? My job is to ensure the security of the minister. Where he goes, I go. This compound simply acts as a secure meeting place. Since it's situated behind the military base just north of here, and its location is kept top secret, there's no need for additional guards, which would only raise suspicion. I see. Any dignitaries, such as Ambassador Choi, also travel with guards? No, sir. If they travel alone, they do so on their own risk. In fact, many officials will travel with a larger contingent of bodyguards, but for these meetings, I heard the Emperor himself requested that secrecy be the top priority. That's all, Sergeant. Thank you. Okay. Comes up here. Any doors? Try to wiggle them? Shield shut. I can't see anything of interest out there. Oh wait, chairs. Oh, nothing. Alright, there's nothing. Let's see here. How can I help, Detective? Yeah, any of those on the case. I suppose I should feel relieved that the killer only intended to kill the ambassador, but I can't help but wonder why the rest of us were spared. The killer obviously had the means to murder everyone here. Why did he choose to let us live? What sort of devious plot were we victims of? Thank you, Miss Roy. I was supposing to talk with is you. yeah, origin the oil on this rag. Sniff. Sniff. It's peppermint. Peppermint? Are you certain? Positive. Granted, I don't generally cook with it, but it's a fine medical oil. I don't know. Perfect for clearing a mild headache, or perhaps a severe case of drunkenness. One whiff of this stuff will wake you right up. Yes, of course, the killer had planned to put everyone to sleep, including the ambassador, but need a way of waking up. Thank you, Chef Chu. That was pretty helpful. Confirmed that a rag coated with peppermint oil was used to wake Choi. Can I talk to you more? This candle? No. Can I? No. I did find the murder weapon. Can I talk to you more? No. Wait a minute. Oh! No. Can I? It's a perfect fit. Down to the melted wax residue on the candlestick. Clearly these two items were taken from the house at the time of the murder. Oh, whoops. Okay. Talk to you again. Oh, okay. I'd like to tell you what I've discussed so far. It appears I misjudged you, Magistrate D, and I trust you understand the gravity of the situation. So you said from do, sir, but the truth is I failed to at my job, and now the ambassador is dead. The ambassador was a strict man, but he was always fair and honorable. Why I have failed him, I have failed my country, and now my family will know its shame for a generation because of this. If only I could face the killer right now, I will surely... Now is not the time. Now is not the time for a temperamental outburst, Captain. If you wish to help, only a clear mind can be used. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have let my emotion take over. Tell me what you remember. Truthfully, well, I am as confounded now as I was when I first fell unconscious. I was standing in the corner of the sitting room, observing the ambassador and the minister, when suddenly I could no longer support my own weight. My head was spinning, and my balance was gone. It fell hard and ground me, and then blackness. You see this? This bump on the head was not there earlier today, I can tell you that. You woke? What happened after you woke? It became clear that the ambassador was not inside the house. I had a hunch that he might be here, so I came running immediately. That's when I discovered his lifeless body inside the cave. How did you know he'd be in the grotto? It was just a guess, sir. You see, the ambassador spent much of his time here when he wasn't working. He enjoyed this garden very much, particularly this waterfall. He would have often spent entire afternoons out here inside the cave. On these days he seems peaceful.
Anyone ever join him in the cave? No, sir, never. This is the only entrance, and I was always standing guard at this very spot, in fact. No one else could have gone in without me knowing. What about you? Did he ever join him inside? No, the pastor made it very clear that he was not to be disturbed. Did you notice anything unusual about the ambassador? Ambassador Troy was a very private man. We rarely talked about anything other than official business. But from my vantage point, he did strike me to be especially preoccupied in recent weeks. Preoccupied? How so? I can't explain it really. There was just this lack in his eye, this look in his eye, like like his mind was directed, that took on someone's face when there's daydream, and they're daydreaming. And of course, all that time he spent in that cave by himself was so strange. I could never understand why he liked it in there so much. Have you seen him like this before? In all my years serving as his personal guard, I can't recall a time where he appeared so distracted.
But these last few weeks, something seemed to be bothering him. The ambassador have enemies. Are you aware of anyone who wanted to harm the ambassador and Penglai? I find that very hard to believe. Since our arrival 5 months ago, we have resided in the Chinese military base down the road and have really ventured beyond those walls. Outside his regular visit here to work on the treaty, the ambassador was very careful to avoid all unnecessary contact. You say he spent a lot of time in this compound. Did he have much contact with the staff members? He rarely spoke to them directly. Most of the time, if he had any requests, they were delivered by me. And those were usually the mundane type. I'm asking the cook to put less salt in his meals, or requesting the maidservant to put his cap out to dry. That reminds me, I need to retrieve the ambassador cap from the main courtyard. Main courtyard. Did you ask the maidservant to take it out this evening? Yes. In fact, the maidservant usually came to collect the cap as soon as we arrived. I suppose she picked up the routine pretty quickly. Ooh. There's already a cap by his body. Are you sure you're not mistaken? There's already a cap near the ambassador's body. How can it be in the main courtyard? Ah, yes. Well, you see, the ambassador is rather a portly man. On human nights such as this, he has a tendency to perspire, causing the underside of his cap to become damp. He used to complain about the discomfort, so he usually carried a spare cap with him. It was customary for him to switch to the fresh one before a meal. Interesting. The cap in the cave is his replacement. The one in the main courtyard is the original he was wearing when he arrived. Yes, that's correct. Where exactly can I find the original? I think the maidservant usually puts it on the stone bench by the north wall of the main courtyard. In that case, allow me to retrieve that half for you, Captain. I'll be sure to return it to you after I've examined it. Of course. Thank you, Magistrate D. Thank you. I may have some more questions for you later on. In the main courtyard north. I don't think it's the main courtyard. No hack. Captain Bay said the master cap should be on the bench. Where could it be? Perfect for a late night game of chess. So that's a mace servant. I was told you were responsible for replacing the ambassador's cap. Was that the case tonight? That's right, sir. He always leaves an extra cap here so that I can dry it and have it ready for his next visit. Today was especially humid, so I knew he wanted his replacement right away. I put the one he was wearing on the stone bench in the main courtyard. That's the best spot to dry it. But where the cap is missing. No, sir, I had no idea. I'm sure I left it on the stone bench. I always leave it there for drying. Thank you. Since he's been cleaning, maybe he knows of it. Did you see Ambassador Choi's cap? I'm looking for Ambassador Choi's cap, the one that the maidservant would have taken out to dry upon his arrival this evening. Have you seen it? I'm afraid I haven't, sir. Seen it, sir. You're better off asking Sun Ying. But she's a clumsy girl, that one. It wouldn't surprise me if she misplaced it. Between you and me, I don't think she'll last you much longer. What makes you say that? Well, I suppose I've seen her kind before, sir. Careless and too cunning for her own good. I could tell the good ones from the bad ones. You know, I've served in many distinguishing houses, like the Longs of Duji province. You must have heard of them. I served the great Long family for over 10 years. That is, until 2 years ago, when the eldest son threw away their fortune in gambling halls. I thought then that my fate would have been sealed, destined to wait tables to tasteless inns and wine houses. Fortunately, the young matriarch was good enough to write me a letter of recommendation before things got even worse. That's why I ended up here, sir. So you were acquainted with the Minister Wong? No, not at the time, sir. But you see, Minister Wong was once very close to the Long clan. And when I presented him with proof that I had served the Long with distinction, he was quite swift in his decision to hire me. Yes, I remember now. I heard about Longs while I was taking my final literary examination in Capital. Memory serves. Official reports held that after suffering the shame of financial ruin, the entire family had committed suicide in their ancestral home in Duji. Jesus. News of that terrible scandal echoed throughout the capital for weeks. It was a horrible affair indeed, sir. Simply horrible. And you? Can't quite put my finger on it, but his account of the Liang tragedy felt hasty and insecure. Fortunately, my knowledge of that affair is only second-hand. I need something more substantial. If I wish to confront him. Perhaps Minister Wong will know more. Mr. Song told me an interesting tale about how he became steward of this estate. He credits a letter written by the late Madame Liang of Duji. Yes, that is true. I did hire him largely on the strength of that recommendation. Liang Tao and his wife were a formidable aristocrat couple whose influence reached far and wide. I was fortunate enough to call myself a friend, but over the years we had lost touch. Truth be told, even at a young age, their firstborn son was an incorrigible troublemaker who had left an unsettling impression on me. Perhaps I distanced myself without even knowing it. In the end, that his gambling addictions was the cause of their downfall did not entirely surprise me. Even so, when I heard the news of their tragic demise, I was deeply saddened. I made many inquiries, holding out hope that the rumors surrounding their ritual suicide were grossly exaggerated, that perhaps some members of the family had survived the ordeal. I understand this is a sensitive personal matter for you, Minister. I assure you, I wouldn't be asking if it wasn't important. Very well, my initial inquiries were fruitless. Until one day, month later, I received word from a reliable source that someone had indeed escaped unharmed. Although Madame Long had accepted the path that her husband had chosen, her compliance did not extend to taking the life of their 3-year-old granddaughter. She secretly made sure the young one was spared the lethal dose of poison that killed the rest of them. How remarkable. Indeed, that little girl, she is nothing less than a miracle. With luck, she will live out the rest of her life peacefully in Chengdu, where we were able to locate a distant relative willing to take her in. So you see, when Song came to me with that letter of recommendation, I took it as an act of providence. One last opportunity to do right by my old friends. Thank you, Mr. Wang. Now that I know more private details about the affair, I can confront Song to see if his story holds up. You mentioned your service for the Long family in Duji. Just now the minister and I were debating a finer point concerning that affair. I thought surely, if anyone could help us settle the question, it would be you. I hope you can indulge my curiosity. Sir, aren't there more pressing matters to attend to? I'm afraid you misunderstood me. That was a request. It was an order. I'm very sorry, sir. I did not mean to suggest. No apology needed. Simply answer me this. When faced with ruin and shame, the entire Liang family retreated to their ancestral home and committed ritual suicide. No one was spared, except for one. Can you tell me who survived? But they all died. I'm sure of it. It was common knowledge. Ha! It was indeed a common knowledge that the entire family poisoned themselves, but only a select few knew the entire truth. As luck would have it, Mr. Wong is such a person. The Long Matriarch, whatever, knew her husband's suicidal plans and had no choice but to follow his wishes. But she could not bear to see the family's youngest, her 3-year-old granddaughter, suffer the same fate. Madame Liang made sure the girl was spared the lethal dose of poison that killed the others. But you could not have known that, since, contrary to your false claims, you never worked at the Longs at all. But, not another word. Your crude and callous retelling of the Lang affair never did set well with me. How could a man devoted to the same families for so long recount such a tale with such utter lack of sentiment? You're an opportunist, but not a very smart man. Like everyone else at the time, you heard the stories about the Langs, but you decided you could use that knowledge to your own advantage. You forged the letter you claimed was written by the matriarch and lied your way into your current position. What are you playing at Song? Come out with it now. It's true that I lied. It's true that I lied about my past, sir. I won't deny it any longer. I was desperate for a job, and although I had worked as a servant before, I knew that I looked the experience for this position. But I assure you, it had nothing to do with the ambassador's death. I believe you over that. What else did you lie about? The, the ambassador's cap. I was the one who took it from the stone bench earlier this evening, just after the maidservant brought it out into the courtyard. Explain yourself at once. It was nothing nefarious, sir, I swear. I needed something to protect myself from Sun Ying. Like you, she somehow found out about my dishonesty. She said she would keep quiet, but warned me that she would one day ask for something in return. I didn't want to take any chances, so I thought that if I could get the masters to distrust her, I could even the odds. So you stole the cap as an insurance policy against your own deceit. I just wanted to hide it long enough to undermine her competence, sir. I was going to return it, I swear. I know how foolish this was now. Please have mercy on this humble servant, sir. There are more pressing matters. Your petty squabbles are little concern, as you said, sir, as you said yourself. There are more pressing matters at hand. Now tell me where you hid the cap. It's in the storage room. I placed it in a locked wooden chest. But in all the commotion, I seem to have lost the only key. That's why I've been sweeping the floors all night, sir. I've been searching for all over for it. Look, I was able to find a piece of it. Missing key attitude. What do you mean a piece? Well, that chest has a very unique locking mechanism, sir. Its key is actually made up of 3 discrete pieces. It's an old Han Dynasty relic, but Minister Wang is fond of antiques. I must have dropped them earlier, but I've only managed to cover one of the 3 pieces. I looked everywhere, sir. The only explanation is that the other 2 pieces must have been picked up by 1 or more people here. Very well, I will speak to the others about the 2 missing pieces. Caught someone lying about his past and learned where he hid Troy's original cap. Nice. Wow. Let me ask you, do you know anything? Did you happen to come across a key that was dropped somewhere in the premises earlier tonight? No, I can't say that I have. Thank you. You're missing. I don't like that. Did you happen to come across a key that was dropped somewhere on the premises earlier tonight? A key? I don't think. Wait, do you mean this thing? I found it in the courtyard, or was it sitting in the sitting room? Anyway, here, you have it. Nice. Alright. The ambassador cap isn't on the stone bench. That's odd. I saw the maidservant take it. That I'm certain of. Wait, take it? If she could have taken it somewhere else, have you tried asking her? Did you happen to come across a key that was dropped somewhere on the premise earlier tonight? No, sir. I didn't come across any keys. Wait. She placed the hat there, but he said she took it. I was really suspicious about the stupid song already. Do you happen to come across a key that was dropped somewhere on the premise earlier tonight? As a matter of fact, I did pick up an oddly shaped key in the main courtyard when we were all looking for the ambassador. So either one of two things. She is up here, which I am kind of afraid. Oh, fuck. Oh my god. There's no mistaking it, she committed suicide right under our nose. Clearly suicide, but why? Dead, yet her body is still warm. She was alive only minutes ago. Can I cut her down? Oh fuck. Oh shit. All three keys are in place. Still locked. Look like I have to rotate these things dials to the right position. Oh, god damn it. Let's say like this, right? Let's say that's right, but then it's not right. Let's say that's right, and then turn this here. Oh. Wait, what? It looks like lock rests itself if the position of all dials were correct after a total of 6 turns. Okay. That's still shocking to see. Okay. Oh, a little bit nervous right now. Just a 1. Right. Let's see. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Damn it. Uh-huh. Hmm. I'm trying to see. Yeah, these. Oh, actually. Oh, I could be completely dumb. Right. Right. That and that there. And makes this here. Here it goes. That. Yes, that's the trick. Here it is, the cap the ambassador was wearing before exchange for the replacement. Let's see if this one has a secret compartment. Okay, there's a small bulge on the inside. As I expected, a secret pocket is sewn into the lining. This one also has a small piece of folded paper inside. Oh, god damn it. Scared the hell out of me. Whoa. My beloved Sun Ying, though you may despise me for it, my duty to my country compels me to choose against my own heart. These past few weeks by your side have ignited fire within me that will never die. But now I must return to Korea. It is with great regret that I cannot take you with me. Hope you can someday forgive me. Yours, Choi Young Jun. Unlock the chest, found the letter containing the identity of the killer. Ah, damn. That was good. Speak to Minister Wang to react the crime. Damn. I was like, where is she? I'm like, she's already suspicious. Alright, let's talk. I believe I have the facts of the case. Here's what I think happened. Oh wait, case reenactment. Oh, will they actually show us what's happening? Oh, yay! Oh, this is great. This is cool. At first, what took place here tonight seemed overwhelming. A secret diplomatic mission, a mysterious sleeping gas, a cold-blooded murder, and in the end, an inexplicable suicide. But at the heart of the matter was but a simple connection between two people, Ambassador Choi and Sun Ying. Unbeknownst to even his bodyguard, the two of them were exchanging letters upon each visit to his compound. To accomplish this, they used gap exchange. Oh, nice! Using the pretense of the switching caps for the ambassador, the two of them managed to create a private line of communication. With the course of many secret exchanges, an illicit affair grew into a loving bond. I suspect many of the messages exchanged contained direction for each time the pair would meet. All that was needed was the agreed upon time, as the place was surely always the garden grotto. Knowing his guard would stay outside, the ambassador asked his lover to wait patiently inside. Let's see. But their love story was doomed to fail. After all, how could a high-ranking Korean diplomat return to his homeland with a Chinese servant girl as his mistress? It is a bitter truth on all too rigid view of love, but a truth the ambassador had come to accept. Oh, damn it. Excuse me. Oh my god. But a truth the ambassador had come to accept. But Sun Ying had no intention to comply. Instead, she set in motion a cunning plan for one last meeting. If still he refused her, he would pay the ultimate price. But if he chose to be with her instead, they would have simply returned to the house to perform a bit of theater. Everyone in the house would have woken up with a mild headache, but none the wiser. But Ambassador Tori did not have a change of heart, and so she carried out her vengeful killing. While his back was turned, she struck him with a candlestick. She put him in water. She burned him with a candle. Right. Already carrying a candlestick, Sun Ying waited until opportune moment to strike. The ambassador never had a clue. Oh. She managed to fool everyone into thinking that she had fallen unconscious as well, likely using a rag or handkerchief to cover her nose and mouth, so fleeing was not necessary. But like all murderers, she had left a trail waiting to be uncovered. When she realized that I was close to identifying her, she did what perhaps she had planned all along. She committed suicide to avoid getting caught, despite the ambassador. Join the ambassador. What took place here tonight was a love affair gone wrong. There were no political machinations at play, no revolutionary plots to unravel. It was a simple tale of passion and rage. Wow. Afterwards, it never ceases to amaze me how the human heart can be so frail and yet hardened at the same time. I am in your debt, young magistrate. Your handling of this case was impeccable. Thank you, sir. I am happy I could be of service. Then why the long face? By solving this case, you've given this treaty a chance of revival. You've done a great service to me, and what, more importantly, to His Highness. Thank you, diplomatic. Diplomatic means are still within reach, as the Koreans can hardly blame us for their own man's weaknesses. You should be proud of this accomplishment, and I will make sure the Emperor knows of your outstanding service. I'm humbled by your kind words, Minister, but if I may ask frankly, something about this case, about Sun Ying, still leaves me uneasy. I knew it! And what might that be? I meant to put a finger on it, but I have a lingering feeling that something doesn't fit. Nonsense! That woman was a spiteful wretch who committed premeditated murder. I see no flaw in your theory. This is no time for second guesses, D. If you wish to serve the Empire, there is much more work to do. Perhaps you're right. Probably just overthinking it. Remember this night, good detective. You now stand at the crossroads to greatness. There's no turning back. Chapter 1. Oh. Oh. I've been here before. Some invisible force is pulling the boat. Through the fog, I can see a small island with a tower standing in the center. It beckons me. Alright, so I'm gonna stop here. That was an interesting story. I like that a lot. I like this game a lot. This game is actually really, really cool. I'm glad I got it. Detective stories are pretty cool. So I'll go ahead and save this. Yeah, I will see you guys later then.